שבת אחים גם יחד. It's Yom Kippur, and we're not even sure, what do we say? Happy Yom Kippur? No, because it's not happy because, grown-ups and sort of anyone who wants to try after you're 10 years old is fasting. They're not eating. Can you imagine this? It's a Jewish day and we're not eating. Why is that happening? And I'm glad you asked, because here's the thing. Every other day we eat like normal, right? We have a meal, we eat, it's wonderful, we celebrate. But Yom Kippur is a different kind of day. It's a day that we're supposed to take and really set aside. It's a different experience altogether. When we set it aside, what we're saying is this is a special day, and when we don't eat, we're not conscious. I don't know about you, but when I'm eating breakfast, I'm thinking about, what am I going to have for lunch? When I'm finishing lunch, I'm going, I can't wait until dinner. So Yom Kippur, we say, let's take all that time. We sit down, we think about food, we're eating. Let's just put it aside and think about some other stuff. Let's think about what it means to be nice to each other. What does it mean when we are brave enough to say, I'm sorry to somebody? And how about when we're brave enough to say, that's okay, I forgive you? That is not easy to do. And that's why every year we make a special day, and it's all about that. It's all about a way of saying, I'm sorry, and a different way of saying, I forgive you. And one of the things that we do on Yom Kippur, it happened last night. You can watch it online if you want. But last night, we sang, Susan sang, a melody to a prayer that we do every year in every synagogue, not only in Massachusetts, not only in New England, all over the world, they are singing this same prayer. And the prayer basically means, God, I know I made lots of promises this past year, and I said, I'm going to keep my promise. But we didn't. And it feels kind of bad when you think about the promises you didn't keep. And so this song is saying, okay, I made promises I didn't keep, and I'm sorry about that. And please, God, help me to be able to make promises, and if I make them, to keep them. And so Susan is going to sing a little piece of this melody, of this prayer called Kol Nidre, all of my promises.
Before I sing it, I actually take all of my strength and all of my love and all of my feelings of everything I've been holding in all year, and I bring it in my heart. So I'm going to ask you to just bring in anything, all of your thoughts, bring them into you. Close your eyes and get ready. Kol nidrei ve'asarei ve'charomei ve'konamei ve'chinuyei ve'kinusei ve'kinusei u'shavuot kol nidrei ve'asarei ve'charomei ve'konamei ve'chinuyei ve'kinusei ve'kinusei u'shavuot.
It's a very sweet melody, right? It's very sweet, kind of sad, but it's all about saying, I know I promised things I didn't come through with. I'm going to try harder. So Now, I used to be able to come down there with a microphone, we'd be talking. I can't do that this year, but I just want you to be thinking about things that you want to promise to do better with for next year, okay? So I want you to put that in the brain, keep thinking about it. But now we're going to do a prayer, and this prayer is called the Baruch Hu. Some of you know it because like we do it a lot during the year whenever we have a service. But this one we're going to do, and it has a special melody that is just for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. You'll be able to tell the difference. And so usually what we do is we say, everyone should stand up for this prayer. So everybody stand up for this prayer.
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Everyone, please sit down. So lucky to have this big group of grown-up looking kids. Once they were little, tiny little kids, and now they're big kids, and we're so happy they're here to sing with us on this Yom Kippur.
Day and night, show us the way, teaching us to number our days. When we rise and when we lie down, Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael Chavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. I'm so lucky because I have all these kids with me. Pick a part, any part. 1, 2, ready, sing. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael,
Teaching us to number our days. When we rise and when we lie down, Ahavat Olam.
We're going to go backwards for a second because I forgot a very important prayer. And Rebecca, if you look at her, she's going to use her hands. Because night goes into day and day goes into night. We're reversing the order tonight. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day. Keep doing that. Day turns, roll into dark. Away
Into dark,
on the
roll into light. Night becomes day. Day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day. Day turns to night.
Just get ready for Shema, day and night. Show us the way. You ready, Rabbi?
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Now we have another song, Mi Chamocha, and you know lots of melodies. You've heard it sung different ways, but on Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, it has its own very special melody. It sounds a lot like the Baruch Hu, actually, which you will notice because it's a special melody that reminds us of how big the world is and how big God is in our lives and what it means to us to come together to pray together, and how lucky we are that we can be in our sanctuary here and that you can be with us there and that we can pray all together and make this a good year for all of us. Mi chamocha. Remember, that's the prayer.
Mi chamocha
Ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, norah tehilot osei feleh.
We'll all take a seat.
So, you know, I've told a lot of stories over a lot of years, but just the other day someone said, "Hey, Rabbi, what's the story of this guy named Jonah?" And I thought, wait a minute, maybe I haven't told that story at a family service. So it's funny because I actually have a story, and it's right in this book that we use when we pray. And sometimes, you know, some of you are good readers already, you read stuff, but the story of Jonah is a very, very interesting, intense story. And it's not a simple story. It goes something like this. A long time ago, I'm talking a really long time ago, like before television, like before electricity, like before Xbox, like a long time ago, there was this guy. His name was Jonah. God really liked Jonah. I mean, God likes everybody, but God thought that Jonah would be a really good teacher, a messenger who could go to different places and tell people about how important it was to live a good life, to be a good person, right? To be nice, to wash your hands, to say please and thank you, to chew with your mouth closed, like stuff like that. And maybe some more important stuff too. Things like you have to be good to everybody because everybody is created in God's image. And so you have to treat everybody with respect. And if you get angry at someone or you get frustrated with someone, even though you want to go, "Hey, what are you doing that for?" Or you're, "Oh, I can't take it." Like you're supposed to go, "Oh, we're all just made in God's image. We're all flesh and blood, and we got all the same stuff." So anyway, God thought that Jonah would be a really good teacher of that stuff. And so Jonah, you'd say, "Okay, Jonah, I want you to go to this place and teach." And Jonah would say, "Oh, okay, that's cool. I'll go there." Well, one day, God said to Jonah, "Jonah, I want you to go to that place over there called Tarshish." It's kind of a cool place. You can go there to this very day. Nice spa. Anyway, go to Tarshish, and I want you to go to that city, and I want you to go in the city. I want you to say to everybody, "All people who live in Tarshish, get your collective act together. You are not behaving nicely. You're leaving your toys outside. They're getting ruined. You are being rude to your teachers. You are not acting like a good person. You're acting like a schnook. And I want you to go and tell everybody that." And Jonah said, "Those people are never going to listen." And God said, "What are you talking about? Of course they'll listen. I'm sending you. If I'm sending you because I have a job for you." Jonah says, "Okay, God. Only this is going to blow your mind, right?" He goes, "I'm not going to go to Tarshish. I'm going to go in the opposite direction. I'm going to run away from God." Now, do you think that you can run away from God? Raise your hand if you think that you can. No. Right. Can anybody? Why can't you run away from God? What do you think? Go ahead. You are so correct. You even corrected the pronoun. Good for you. Yes, God is everywhere. And because God is everywhere, there's not a place that's nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different quantum issue. But anyway, but Jonah doesn't really think about that. He goes, I'm going to go the other direction. So he decides he's going to jump on a boat and take off. So he gets on a boat, and God says, really, Jonah? You really think you can get away from me? You can't get away from me. You can't get rid of your responsibilities because you don't want to do it. I gave you a job. You have to do it. Period. End of sentence. Well, Jonah is like, I'm going to hide out. He gets on the boat. He goes below the decks, and all the sailors are on board. Arg, and they're doing whatever sailors do on their boat. And Jonah goes below decks. You know what he does? He takes a nappy poo. He just says, I'm tired. He gets a canvas bag. He leans it up against the hull. He leans back, and within a couple of minutes, he's a good sleeper, Jonah. And he's like, beep, 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 beep. And he's just sleeping away. He is just snoring his brains out. But God's like, yo, Jonah, this is not okay. So you know what God does in this story? God makes like a storm. I'm talking about big waves, serious weather. Now, if you've ever been in a boat that's very where the water's really choppy, how much fun is it? So much fun. I like that attitude. But for some people, when the boat starts to get like this, they go, oh, I don't feel so good. And what ends up happening, everyone gets kind of sick. Anyway, I won't go into it, but it's not fun. So the boat is shaking back and forth. But guess what Jonah's doing? He's just sleeping away. He is out to lunch in more ways than one. So the captain goes, okay, what's going on here? Everyone get on board. Everyone stand on the deck. Let me talk. What, did somebody do something wrong? Is someone making God angry or something? Everyone goes, no, I'm good. I didn't do anything. He goes, okay. Then he goes, well, wait a minute. Where is that Jonah anyway? They go down, and he's sleeping, and the boat's going up and down, and it's sloshing and slushing. And he goes, all right, Jonah, get up on board. So he gets up onto the deck, and he goes, oh, I see why all this is happening. I'm like, I'm on the boat. I'm not having... I know. I did something wrong. I must have done something wrong. And they said, well, okay, what are you going to do? And Jonah says, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump into the water. And if I jump into the water, it'll stop. And so, no, they said, don't jump. We don't want you to jump. Now the boat is really rocking back and forth. I'm getting my steps. And so the water is slushing back and forth. And then Jonah says, I want to save everybody. He jumps out of the boat. And guess what happens? You have anticipated the next part of the story. Thank you. Exactly right. So the boat is rocking back and forth. He jumps in the water. The boat stops rocking. Smooth sailing. But where's Jonah? He's in the water going blub, 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 blub. He's doing kind of like a breaststroke kind of thing. And then, all of a sudden, he looks in front of him, and it looks like a very dark cave. He goes, maybe I'll swim into this cave, but it's not a cave. You know what it is? It's the mouth of a giant whale. I don't even know what kind of fish this is, but it is a big fish. It swallows Jonah, and there he is sloshing around in the belly of the whale going, blur. Wow, this is kind of weird. This is like a science experiment. What's going on? Well, what's going on is he's in the belly of a whale. And he goes, oh, no, I really blew it. I jumped off that boat, and I guess I wasn't, I think God's punishing me for something. I think I didn't listen to God, and now because I didn't listen, I have time to think about it. So he sat in that fish. It smelled pretty fishy in there, you know. But it was 3 days in the belly of a whale. Thank God he liked sushi, because that was all you could get. There's lots of kinds of sushi there. Anyway, so on the third day, he's minding his own business, having a little, sashimi. And then, guess what happens? He hears the whale go burp. Everybody burps sometimes. And only when a whale burps, you know where the air goes out? In the middle of his head, he has a blow spout. So Jonah was flying out of the blow spout, bam, lands on this land, and guess where it is? Yes, Tarshish, the very place that God told him to go. He kind of took a special ride. So he gets out, he's like, ugh, it doesn't smell too good probably. So he takes a quick shower, he walks out, he goes, is this Tarshish? They go, yep. He goes, okay, everybody, be nice to each other. Don't be schnooks, or God's going to mess this place up. And then Jonah goes back, he sits on a hill and goes, they're never going to listen to me. These people are bad. Only guess what? They listen. They believe that Jonah knows what he's talking about. And they do good stuff. They stop being schnooks. It's unbelievable. And Jonah says, wow, God is so powerful. But the real truth is, you know who's powerful? Jonah is. And not only Jonah, but the people in Tarshish, they were powerful too, because they listened when someone said, try living a better way. Think about how you behave and the way that you can be a better person. And if you can do that, if you can think of a better way to be in the world, don't just think about it. Do it. Do it. And the story of Jonah is a reminder about doing it, getting it done, trying to be better, and not being afraid to say you can do better, and not being afraid to say, I will do better. That's all part of the story of Jonah, and it's the story that we tell every year on Yom Kippur, because it's a reminder. It's a reminder that we have to always work every day to do right, to be right. And so now we're going to do another song that we do all the time on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur only. And the prayer is called Avinu Malkenu. And it's a beautiful, beautiful melody. And it's about saying, God, help us to have a better year by giving us the strength and the courage to actually do more and to be more. It's a tough thing to do, but we can do it. It's about listening. It's about feeling. It's about thinking of all the ways that the world needs us, and we need each other. So I'm going to ask everyone to please stand up. I'm going to ask our president, Carol Rhodesian, who's sitting on the beam, to open the ark, and we will sing this beautiful prayer together.
First, I'm going to sing these English words, and then I'll turn around. Avinu Malkenu. I'm singing, I'm sorry to you. I'll try to do better. I know I'll do better. Avinu Malkenu. Let's sing Avinu Malkenu. Avinu Malkenu.
Avinu Malkenu. tzedakah v'chesed. Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed ve'oshienu. Avinu Malkenu, Avinu Malkenu, Avinu Malkenu, Chanenu v'aneinu, ki ein banu masim. Such a beautiful prayer. And now we're doing what we call family blessing time. So if you would find who you came in with and make a little family blessing pod. So if you will gather your offspring, your relatives, or each other, as the case may be. And I'm going to say some of these words, and if you would say them after me. So first, this is for parents, aunts, uncles, to say to your children, nephews, nieces, grandchildren, or whatever configuration of relation that you are in. May God make you wise and strong,
Wise and strong,
like God made
like God made
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. And now, kids to grown-ups, grown-ups to kids, you're all going to say this to each other as I say these words to you. Get ready. Here we go. May God bless you.
May God bless you.
And take good care of you.
And take good care of you.
May God's love.
May God's love
shine on you.
Shine on you.
May God's face.
May God's face
shine on you.
Shine on you.
And grant you
and grant
joy.
You joy.
Contentment.
Contentment.
Patience.
Patience.
Laughter.
Laughter.
Peace.
Peace.
And shalom.
And shalom.
Amen.
Amen.
Now, before you start to go out to the parking lot, I mean, in the old days, people would run. But you don't have to run. You got lots of room to turn around. But before you go, I know that typically we hear the shofar, the Tekiyah Gedolah, at the very, very end of Yom Kippur. For some of you, let's face it, that's bedtime. So in case, I'm talking about the adults, not the kids. So if you might be in bed or otherwise occupied with something else, I'm going to ask Zach to pick up that big shofar. And when I'm going to say to all of you to join me, I'm going to give you what we're going to say. We're going to say, Tekiyah Gedolah. Let's practice. I'm going to say it first. Tekiyah Gedolah. Now you recite it. Tekiyah
Gedolah.
Beautiful. So is everybody ready? Zach, are you ready? Yeah. Most importantly, 1, 2, 3. Tekiyah Gedolah. Whoa, Shana Tova.
Shana Tova. Shana Tova. Shana Tova. Shana Tova. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova. Shana, 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 Shana Tova.
Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bim
bim, 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 bam. Shana Tova, everybody. Shana Tova, grown-ups.
Thank you.
Easy,
everybody.
fast.
Thanks to all
We're
of
getting
our
there. We're
teams.
getting there,
They were
everybody.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Take care, everybody. Have a
Started
good
on the
year.
wrong
We'll
note.
see you
I don't know
around.
where I was.